The first epistle of Paul, the apostle, to the Corinthians, chapter 11. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I have delivered them to you. When? That's the word I was looking for. I was saying, where are the statutes and ordinances? I couldn't think of the other word. I was going, where are the statutes and the other word? Where are they? So he thinks he has delivered some ordinances, but I'm unclear. Let's keep going. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So, ladies, bow down to your man. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Now what? I heard that you're supposed to cover your head if you're a woman. Even in here, I think it says, it might be later on, but it says you can cover your head when you're in prayer. Or maybe we read that part. But this is a little backwards here. He's saying, don't cover your head praying. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. Oh, it's the woman. Here it is. It's particularly for the woman. Oh, you see that? This is a law for the woman only. It says, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaven. What? Oh, no, I'm just super confused. I thought I was going to say the men are not supposed to, but the women are supposed to. But it says both of you are not supposed to. And this is against other things that I know I've read. So, what is he doing? For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. Oh, now I'm totally confused. We are not supposed... You go back in I don't remember where, but it says, do not shave your head like the Egyptians. They're doing that because they're like sun worshiping or something. They're known for that. And it said in like Deuteronomy, do not follow that practice. So why is he talking about it? Why is he talking about let her also be shorn? Now he's going so far as to say women. Women. Like in that Deuteronomy, it says, don't shave your head. And it's talking to men. So you better believe women aren't supposed to shave their head. So what is he talking about here? I'm just going to let it go. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. But the woman is the glory of the man. Oh, maybe it's going back to you're supposed to. Let's see. Kind of confusing. He's kind of back and forth. Okay, men, do not cover your head. Do not shave your head. Do not cover your head. And you can see that the Jews, even today, they have stuff on their head. I forget what it's called, but it's that big black puffy thing. Also, they wear those phylacteries all over their arms and stuff, right? But he's saying, he's the one talking for this whole organization. He's like, do not cover your head if you're a man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of God. Okay? Judging yourselves, is it comely that a woman pray unto God uncovered? Oh, here he goes. Comely. Oh, goodness. Yeah, he's starting to create laws talking about comeliness. Like, what doth not even nature itself teach you, that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? Huh. Nature teaching you that. But I thought Jesus had long hair. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. Okay, get to the bottom point. Are we supposed to cover our head or not? But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom, neither the churches of God. Now in that I declare unto you, I praise you not that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse. For first of all, when ye come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you, and I partly believe it. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be manifest among you. When ye come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat the Lord's Supper. For in eating everyone taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry, and another is drunken. What? Have you not houses to eat and drink in? Ooh. You see that? Tell that to the government, right? Tell that to business people, right? That sit there and they write off all these stuff and write off stuff, and they don't even, of course they don't pray. They're there to destroy, oppress the weak more a lot of times. And so I like what he just said right here. He's like, it's not a big party, bro. You're taking away from what you're supposed to be doing if you're just sitting there acting like, oh, you got to eat too. Yeah, we all got to eat together like it's the Last Supper. He's telling him, you better go home and do that eating and drinking business, and then you come out. I like this. At least he wrote that, because I am absolutely confused about this head covering. It makes no sense. We do know that the Jews still do this. We know that Arabs, the women, they cover not just their head, their entire body, except their eyeballs sometimes. And even those are covered. They have a screen. But is he saying that your hair is given for a covering and you're not supposed to cover your head when you pray? I guess this is what he's saying. Jesus, I didn't hear anything about this while Jesus was here. It's to me, I remember this from Deuteronomy or some law from God. It was God talking, and he told him, the guy got the message, and he's like, no, don't be like the Egyptians. That's who would shave their entire head and all their body hair probably because of their religion specifically. So at that time, he goes, don't do that. Just don't shave. But now, I think somewhere somebody said cover your head when you're praying. But Paul is now saying, no, don't do that. It sounds like that to me. I'm not sure. It's confusing. But this part I really like. He's like, oh, you have business to do, like eating, it's like a fleshly thing, right? It's one of your, like Maslow's hierarchy, right? You have to eat in order to survive. But guess what? You're out there praying. You don't need to sit there and eat. Go out all amongst yourselves and have a party every time you eat, right? I like that he says that. He says, what? Have ye not houses to eat and to drink in? I like that. Or despise ye the church of God and shame them that have not. Oh, I love that. You see that? And only if you have not eaten would you understand that. If you have been hungry. Only if you have been hungry would you understand this one. What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. I like that about him. He seems to be very concerned with people that don't have food. I like that. For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Okay, let's all hear that again. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. That's why we're supposed to be thinking of every time we pick up food, anytime you pick up drink, I'll give all glory, all thanks to the Lord. Give him the first sip. You want the first sip, Jesus? Look at that. I like this guy right now. He's super confusing to me. He's like, but I really like this. That he's shown interest. Wherefore, whatsoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. That's right. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. He's taking this seriously. I like this. He's saying, like, don't even bother eating or drinking until you put a little consideration in that, you know, it's for nourishment, so you can keep up your relationship with God, keep it strong, taking a breath, to keep doing your part as a servant. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. Oh, you hear that? Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? So, could it be diabetes? Could it be heart problems? Could it be strokes? Could it be any disease on the face of the earth? Do you see what it's being attributed to? Do you see what is the cause of it? When you get your food and you don't remember why we have our food, and we don't give all thanks to our Lord for that food and remember him, look what's going to happen to us. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep, many die, because you're not praying over your food. I'm so glad I learned that one. I mean, before now, or I wouldn't understand it. I went slow because I feel it's true. It's really true. But I really like what he's saying here. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. Is he expecting them to... This is where he should shout and like jump up and down with the red flag going, don't eat any pork. Don't eat shellfish. They're unclean. By the way, if you forgot, he's saying he's laying down these keeping these ordinances, right? But this would be a great place to throw in that ordinance. But is he assuming that you are all going to stop doing that because you're following all the previous statutes from the Old Testament and ordinances, which Paul, I don't see have been laid down in any way regarding this? Or, like, did he throw that out? And now he's just saying, you already just figured out yourself, I mean, what's going on here? But this is so true, right? This is a huge, huge thing. If he's talking, because you kind of getting wondering, where's he getting this information? So, this is very particular. I think it might be the Holy Spirit, or he is really speaking from his experience, with the other apostles and about what's going on and with Christ, because That is so serious. For this cause, many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. And just think, right? We know nowadays people go, yeah, stop smoking. Stop your diet. You're eating too much fat. You're doing this. Well, guess what? Do you see what this is saying? It's saying, it's not telling you what to eat, what's good and bad. It's not saying stop the pork, stop the shellfish. It's kind of going a step above, and it's saying, yeah, it doesn't say, hey man, you should already know. It's already the commandments. It seems like that would be a little helpful to us, 2,000, 4,000 years later, 2,000 years later reading this, but this is more awareness. This is more consciousness and more encompassing than just those food laws, because it says for this cause. So you better figure out what the cause is, right? And it's not the food you're eating, it's the fact you're not praying over the food and you're not taking the food into account. He's our bread. This is our blood. Like, we have to, without a doubt, incorporate that into all of our food, because look what it says. It says you don't do that once, or you don't do that twice. Yeah, you probably do. You are developing high blood pressure, by the way. That is extremely important. That number 30 there. That's the best one. Well, I like this one too, though. That you shouldn't be eating anyway, right? And it's true, right? Like, if you're in, okay, I'm just not going to get into it, but you have to be hungry, or you have to know what it feels like to have no food, or you have to know some aspects of this. It makes it more better. A little bit. I totally understand this. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry for another. It means work for another. Like, don't be the one, like, acting like you're there. You got to eat. No, you're there to serve first. You're there to work, to serve, to see, like, how we got it all straight, right? Because regular people, how we act when there's food. Kind of like some animals sometimes, right? Have you ever seen that at work? Like, you ever had a work thing? And they bring, they call Panda Express or something, there's all this food. You ever see how people act at work? Like, I just remember one time just being like, whoa, you know what? These people must be really, really... It was a new job, and, like, you don't want to really eat in front of people. Like, and take, like, all the food. And I'm, like, getting orientated or something. And they're like cows at a... What's that thing called? At their thing. It was terrible. And I'm like, wow, these people are animals. They see that you're like the new person. They don't even give you a space. They don't even say, get in here. Come on. No, they're going to tear it all up. And you know what? Their behavior was so gross. I didn't even want to eat. And I didn't. I'll never forget that. And I thought about it sometimes over the years. And I was like, you know what that is, right? It's just greed, right? Like, if I was hungry, man, like, these are all nurses too. Like, what if they were like, hey, are you, you look around, it's saying, like, do this, what they should do, or this is how you do if you're in that position. You see, is there someone new? Is there someone looking around? Is there someone scared before you all go to the trough and destroy all the food? You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Now I think I'm so happy, and that this is exactly what happens. Yeah, and it says you tarry first, right? You don't sit there and go to the trough first. Number one, trough master. No. You look around, you see what everybody's situation is, and then you start dealing with it. And if any man hunger, let him eat at home, that ye come together not together unto condemnation, and the rest will I set in order when I come.